Thomas, good to see you. This video is for anyone who's been laid off recently or who's afraid they might be laid off. We do have some action steps. This year, about 60,000 people have been laid off or fired, including thousands of federal and state workers. With markets rattled and a potential recession on the way, a lot of people are worried about their job right now. Being laid off is terrible. Having an action plan can help. Before we get into the steps, though, this is a good time to remind everybody to shore up their emergency fund. How much cash should we have on hand?
Right. I mean, typically the standard rule is 3 to 6 months. I say the more months better, between 6 to 12. If you can get to 12 months of emergency savings, I think you're in a great position.
Okay, so now let's get in those action steps. First, file for unemployment.
Yeah, I think that's huge, right? You want to do that right away because that can, depending on where you're at, what state you're in, and depending on if the particular city that you're in, if there's a lot of unemployment claims, it can take some time. So you want to do that right away. I've seen times where it can take anywhere from 2 to 3 months, depending on what's going on in that particular city. So.
Which is why that emergency fund is so important too.
Absolutely.
All right. Next, you suggest updating your resume. That should almost be an ongoing thing.
Right. Sometimes people, they want to take a break, right? They need that break to kind of recuperate and, before they reposition. But you definitely want to get that resume updated, get it out there so that you can get something, maybe get some leads here in the near future right after you get unemployed.
Next, ask about severance, your final paycheck, and any unpaid PTO.
Right, that's huge. You just want to kind of take a look at that stuff. If you have PTO, maybe some paid sick time, depending on the policy that your company has. You want to take advantage of all of that, and see if you can get that paid out for you. And then obviously, if there's a severance package, you want to take advantage of that as well.
And next, of course, review your 401k. What should we do with that old 401k?
Right, that's huge. If you, depending on how you left the company, if you don't have a relationship with the advisor there, and you may want to, think about moving it. 401ks is probably one of the lowest way, or the cheapest ways rather, that you can save for retirement. But if you're never going to go back to that company, you don't have a relationship with the advisor there, you want to talk to a financial advisor about potentially moving it, or maybe even moving it to the new company that you go to.
And then last, of course, it's a difficult time. Tap your support system. And that should also include a financial advisor. Why is that?
I think it's huge. You definitely want to have your advisor in that conversation because sometimes if that unemployment doesn't kick in and perhaps you don't have that, 3 to 6 months of savings, you start to cut things, maybe your life insurance, maybe different types of insurances. Maybe you want to reduce your contributions to your IRAs if you're doing that. So having a conversation with your advisor can give you, some strategy on how to go about, maybe reducing some of your payments to some of your obligations.
Great. Well, Thomas, if somebody is concerned about their job right now or their financial future, they want to make sure they have their ducks in order. What's the best way to reach you?
Definitely. You can go to my website, martinheritagegroupllc.com, to get in contact with me. I'd love to have a conversation with you. You can also give me a call, rather, 651-503-6064. And then you can shoot me an email at info@martinheritagegroupllc.com. And then I'm on all social media platforms at Martin Heritage Group.
Great. Thomas, thank you.
Thank you.